Hello friends, it's time for another reading vlog. This time we're going to read our TBR Lowdown pick for January 2021, Felix Ever After, which I'm really excited for. Everyone so far that has read it thinks that it's phenomenal. I've heard the audiobook is really good and I have it on script, so I'm going to listen to it. So I just wanted to hop in really quickly and say, hey, this is what we're doing. And then basically we're just gonna read. And when I have little updates, I'm gonna tell you about it. But really, we're just reading. That is all we're doing, okay? So I'm really psyched to get this going. Yeah. I am on my third video filming today, but this one's just a reading vlog. So me and the Corky are gonna just read, and that's what's gonna happen. So let me take my phone back because I'm recording on this. I'm gonna put this on the camera and I'm gonna use my camera from here on out. Like a good little vlogger, not that I ever use my camera. And that is all. I feel like I have not moved from this chair all day. And I'm not gonna move now because I'm gonna read this. Maybe I'll go get some tea. That'll make me move. But yeah, I'm excited. Everybody's really loved it, so. And we all know I love LGBTQ books. I don't know why I love them so much. It's like I love them so much that some days I'm like, am I queer? And then I'm like, no, I'm not. But like I'm weird, but I'm not queer. But I love them. So let's just jump into the reading, and I'm going to shut up because I filmed too many videos and now I'm rambling. Here's how I know this is a fictional story in some way, shape, or form. Who talks to strangers on the subway? If a stranger talked to me on the subway, I would be like, excuse me, you crazy? Anyway, but other than that, I like it. All right, we're 12 pages in. I like Felix already. I hate Declan, and I enjoy the fact that they're not just dealing with, that they're also adding in the layer of like the different classes, which is really important if you're going to set something in New York City, because you have so many different ways that people can clash in a big metropolitan, cosmopolitan city like that than maybe you would have in a smaller town. And I really liked that they are adding in that layer of the class, the like sort of class war on top of, you know, homosexuality, on top of the different races, and I love that every character is like really mixed, and like, because it's real. It's like a lot more real. I'm liking, there's a reality here that I'm really enjoying. That's all I got. Back to reading. His mom leaves? How does a mom leave their child? That always gets me. I don't know how a mom just leaves their child and then sets up another family. Ugh. Ugh. So, we're on chapter 3. I feel like I have lots of random comments about this book. So we've just set up the fact that Felix was actually born a girl, and Felix has started his transition to become Felix, and that now I know why his mom just kind of moved away and stopped talking to him, and his dad still has issues dead naming him, and I kind of wonder what it's like to be a supportive parent of a child that changes genders to the gender that they feel like they should have been born with. But, you know, how does the parent transition? It must be an interesting experience. I don't have children to go through, to see how they come to terms with that change in their child, even when they are as supportive as his dad. You know, like that last, is the name the last thing that they hold on to? And is that why he dead named him? Is because it's the last piece of the original child that he met. And as he's coming to terms with the child that his child's becoming, I'm sort of just stream of consciousness thinking here. But it's an interesting, I find it interesting. I hope they talk a little bit more about his dad. I hope his dad talks a little bit more about his feelings, and then I hope that they're actually nice feelings and very supportive. But yeah, there's got to be a lot to unpack, because he's talking about how his dad was encouraging him to keep pictures of his old life, and Felix is saying that that's really not for him, that's for his dad. And that's probably true. There's probably a piece of the parent that wants to hold on to the memory of where their child began, and also support and love where their child is. But I can understand how that could cause conflict. So this is very interesting. I'm enjoying this. This I'm enjoying. I am going to just listen and get some stuff done around the house, and I will check back in a little bit. Okay, we are, I don't know, like 8 or 9 chapters in, and you're back on the phone. We're about 8 or 9 chapters in. I'm still really enjoying it. I feel bad for his dad a little bit on how much he's struggling, and I also understand why Felix is so mad at his dad, and I really hope that they like grow together. I'm still stuck on like I want that parent-child bond to just like reinforced and be good. And what if I just put you down here so you don't have to shake everywhere? Yeah. So welcome to my messy room. Welcome to my closed chair. My life's a mess, just go with it. So yeah, like I'm really enjoying watching that dynamic go. It's so sad every time he writes an email to his mom and doesn't send it. Like, it still hurts me. Like, you're a mom, how could you leave your child? And I'm curious to see how that goes. The plot itself seems to be very predictable. Like, I kind of know what's gonna happen, but like I still am really enjoying watching this, reading this and seeing it unfold. I do think that there's some sort of irony in the constant Harry Potter references in a trans book. I don't know how everybody feels about that. That would be a very interesting thing for us to discuss in the live discussion, because I would like to know how people feel about that, because we've had this discussion today with some of my friends about like just in general the influence those stories have had on readers, but then also the problematic nature of the author. And you know, that's this continuous debate about like, what do we do with the material? Is the material tainted because of it? Can we just no longer refer to everything? Like, I don't know. There's a lot to unpack there. So I can't wait to discuss that at the end of the month when we all talk about the book, because I'd like to know what everybody thinks about all the references to Harry Potter in this trans supportive book. So that's where I am right now. I'm gonna clean up this pile of shit because I'm embarrassed that y'all have just seen this pile of crap that's on my chair, and keep listening to the book as I clean this. Next check-in, that would be better. 1, I cleaned the chair. My bucket of, those are faucets that need to go in my bathroom, and that bucket of hair styling stuff, that's just gonna be chaos. You can judge me all you want. Anyway, we are on, I'm taking a little tea break to make some tea. We are on chapter 15 of Felix, or past the halfway point. I like that he and Declan are learning to like each other. I'm sure there's going to be conflict before anything really wraps up, but I like that Felix is exploring exactly what his identity is, and they're delving into like all the different nuances and discussing whether or not labels themselves are necessary. I mean, I joke a lot that like I feel like I would have been better born a boy, but I don't feel like I'm trans in any way, shape, or form. But it's got to be an incredibly complicated mental and physical process to go through to realize you are a different gender than the sex you were born to biologically. And then to deal with being a teenager and to deal with all the pressures of being a kid, because kids are freaking nasty, and we don't really stop being nasty until we're like 20 and learn that it's not socially acceptable, and then we're really not great until we hit like our middle age, and then some people just get stuck and are always nasty. So I feel really bad for Felix, I really do, but I'm happy that he's finding these people in his life who do support him and that do care for him. I like how he's using the letters to his mom to explore his feelings, almost like a journal, but it still makes me really sad that his mom just isn't available to him. I'm just gonna keep saying him. I don't know if he goes to they. at some point in this story, but he's gonna be a he for right now. I mean the statistics, and I do know that the statistics for like suicide and the mortality rate is lower for transgendered, especially transgendered and POC persons. You know, the risk of suicide is high and the life expectancy is low from various reasons. But when it gets spelled out in here, it's hard to like look at the facts. And I know those are facts, but it's hard to look at the facts because like they're just people. Whoever these people in this book represent, they're just people. And I don't know why we always have to make such a big deal and all these nuances and like categorize and rank people. Like, we're just freaking people. Maybe that person at the group was right, and maybe we just need to live in a totally genderless society, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm finding it very interesting. I'm gonna keep reading. I will probably finish it today. Hopefully I do. I do have to work tomorrow, so I want to finish this and listen to something else for tomorrow. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really glad that we picked this. I think there's a lot we can discuss, and I think there's a lot that needs to be discussed, and I'm really happy that there's this as a resource for people who are going through this experience in their lives, to feel like they have, one, representation in society, and two, feel like they have a buddy almost. They have a place to go to know that they're not alone, to know that their feelings are valid. And I don't know, I'm just so glad that these books exist in the world. I guess my experience was watching friends of mine be incredibly bullied in high school for being gay. We didn't have anybody who was trans at the time, but I remember people being bullied a lot and just being absolutely heartbroken for my friends and not really knowing how best to support them outside of just the friend bond, like how to support them out into the like larger society. How do I protect and support and elevate my friends? And there were no resources really for that. They were just starting to exist and become more mainstream. So it's just so nice to see this progression to like where in popular fiction you can go somewhere and you can read about a person who's like you and maybe learn that there's safe places, or learn how to do something, or learn that something's okay. And I don't know, I'm rambling now, but these books make me happy in a very specific way. So I'm just gonna drink my tea and keep it on. Hello, it is the next day. I didn't end up finishing Felix yesterday because we went over to drop off presents at a family member's house, and then sort of the day got away from me. But I'm going to finish listening to this on my drive to work today, and I will either update you. I have about like 100 pages left. I should finish it on my drive to work. I will either update you later tonight or maybe even tomorrow, because I'm expecting a very long shift, so I might not be mentally capable of summing up my thoughts. But that's where we are. We've got about 100 pages left, and we are going to go to work, and we're going to listen to this, and we're going to finish this up. So far I'm really enjoying it. So far everybody seems to have been giving it 5 stars in our little group, but we'll see. This year I've been trying to really use CallPile to be better at critically rating my books, and things that I thought I might have rated 5 stars, they really have been like a really high 4, maybe 4.5. So I think it's interesting. So I'm finding this experiment this year really curious and interesting, and apparently I am way too quick to just give things 5 stars. So we're going to see how it comes out of the CallPile later, but let's first finish reading the book. I'll check in later. Hello. Hi. So it's Alyssa. I And you know it's Alyssa. You've been watching this whole reading vlog. What the hell am I saying? Who knows what I'm saying? I don't know anymore. I realized I never actually wrapped up my Felix Ever After reading vlog, and I need to edit it now. So we're gonna do a little wrap up. So yeah, I finished this now several weeks ago. It feels like, and this was so good, and I think that you got that from watching me read the book. I really did enjoy the ending. I think my favorite parts of this are just how realistically it's written. This definitely feels like kids this age, teenagers this age, speaking, talking, going through things that kids this age would go through. I feel like oftentimes YA books are written, of course, by older people, and sometimes the language feels a little off as a result, but this seems perfect. Like, they really are realistic. And I liked all the things that these kids deal with in the book. And I loved how, like, Felix had that outlet of the LGBTQ community, that community resource that he has in where he lives, and that he could go there and get questions answered, that he could explore what different identities mean, that he could meet people like him that have dealt with those issues and those questions, and he could get things answered and get support. The one thing I really wanted for Felix, and I'm talking about Felix like this is a real person because it feels so real, but like they feel like they need, and I feel like I may have used the wrong pronouns here and there while talking about the book, but they feel like they need counseling in general, because, and as a unit with the dad, because I feel like the dad is actually incredibly supportive, but the dad also has their own things that they're dealing with, because this is a change, and every time somebody deals with a change in their life, it's hard. So I think this was like a 12, like he was like 12 or so, or she was 12 or so when she decided that she wasn't a she. And if you think about that, you have over a decade with somebody that you love and is very close to you, and you know them as one, or you see them as one person, and then they come to you and they say, I'm really not this person. This is who I am. This is who I feel I am. This is what I need in my, like, this is me. You love them and you support them, and I feel like Felix's dad does. But I feel like there's also their own things that they have to work out on their side, because they're going to slip up and dead name them. They're going to slip up and use the wrong gender pronouns, just out of simply habit, and not necessarily out of anything actually negative or hurtful or resisting or anything bad. But I feel like I wanted to see that element explored in the book, of the two of them working together to understand both sides of this, like the issues that Felix deals with as being this person, and the issues that the father may have with raising and supporting and being there for Felix in the way that he needs, and just all the things that come along with that. Because even, I feel like, if you ever know anybody for a long period of time, and if you didn't see it, like if the father couldn't see that this was who Felix was or is, it can be, I don't know if shocking is like a good word, but it shocks you in a way. Like, you're like, oh, okay. And then it takes your brain a while to get up to speed. Like, obviously, if you're a parent for a decade of somebody and they're your little girl, you have little girl memories with them. But maybe they're not your little girl. They're whatever they are, it doesn't matter. That is a learning curve, I guess is the best way to say it. There's a learning curve of, how do I process my old memories? How do I respectfully treat my child going forward? And I would have liked to have seen that explored. And I would love to see a book that explores in a positive and non-derogatory way that dynamic within a family and support group, because it's important. Because there are a lot of people that are coming out now, and you might not have older generations that are unsupportive, but they might not be fully equipped to go forward without offending or hurting their child and accidentally. So it would be really neat, I think, to see that area explored so that there is a resource out there for that element as well. And maybe there isn't, I just haven't seen the book. Because there are other sides to this. There is obviously the person who is realizing and figuring out their identity, and there's the people around them as well. And everything in life isn't cut and dry. Everything in life isn't just black and white. Like you can just switch it on and off and be like, oh, I support you and I'm perfect. Like you can support somebody and still be imperfect and you're working towards perfection. So it would be really nice to see that explored in literature, like as the next layer, so that everybody can maybe understand each side, so that maybe we can be easier on each other. So like in these cases, like if it's Felix and his dad dead names him out of a habit, maybe they have some sort of system where they can easily discuss that without there being added frustrations or issues on top of it. You know what I mean? Like, so he dead names him and maybe he says dad, whatever. Like they have like even like a safe word. It's like marshmallow. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But like they say something and then Daddy goes, oh yes, I recognize that I did that. And they can just apologize and move on. So it's understood on both sides that like nobody's going to be perfect right out of the gate. But like I love you and I support you, and I don't care who you are or what names you use or whatever it is. I love you, the person that is my child, and if this is who you are, I fully support it. And the child also can be like, I get that like you had a decade with me this way, and it might take a little bit of time for you to get on the train. Now, obviously, I've never been a parent, and I am a cis hetero female. So there are going to be pieces of this that I just either don't comprehend or I miss or whatever. But that was just one thing that I would find interesting to see explored, because I think his dad really loves him, and I think his dad's incredibly supportive, and he's really lucky to have his father. And you could tell that his father was struggling just with his own things there, and not out of a lack of support and love, but just kind of in a natural, like, shit, stuff has changed, and I don't know what to do now. Maybe somebody feels differently about that. If you do, just tell me down below. I'd love to have a conversation about this, because I think there is a lot to discuss about anybody going against the like norm, like heteronormative culture. Like there's a lot wrapped up in that, and obviously I can't speak to a lot of things but I see things. So I would love to hear what anybody has to say about it, and hopefully we can discuss that in our live book chat, which is happening. I can't remember. I'm going to put up the graphic again somewhere. It's going to be here-ish. So I hope that you guys join me. I'll leave a link down below for it. I also am going to be doing a reading vlog for our bonus book, which I'm starting today, which is Dragon Republic, because last month we read Poppy War. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you join us for the live. It's on a Sunday this time. I think it's a little later in the day. So hopefully some more people can join us. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Leave down below Felix, and that just lets me know that you've made it this far, and I really appreciate you guys watching and the support that you guys give me. I've noticed that my subscriber count, I mean, it's still really low, but my subscriber count has had quite a little spike in the last week, and I really, really appreciate that. We're now over 400 subscribers, which means we're almost halfway to my goal for the year, which is to hit 1,000 subs. So I really appreciate that. So Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to anybody who has shared this with anybody new. I really appreciate you guys. I just like making content and I just find this fun. It's nice to have a community of people to talk to. Sorry, I tried these magnetic lashes and like I'm getting used to them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to shut up because I'm rambling. I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever it may be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Thank you. Bye.
So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be.